My brother-in-law is here right now, looking at houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like my whole family's gonna.
They're all coming here to be with you. You're like, nah, that is not what you signed up for.
I might be moving, guys.
You're gonna go to California?
I actually would. I would have no problem like living near my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be easy.
Going back to Cali.
How was
it's California? So expensive. It was beautiful. I always have a good time. I don't do a whole lot though, but that's by choice. Yeah, just family time.
Yeah, I get that.
I did get to see my nephew play a little bit. He's just coming back from a basketball injury, and he had a game. My last night, I was there.
High school.
Yep. He's the only freshman on varsity.
Nice. That means he got some skills.
Yeah, he got some. He's okay. He takes after his dad. Nope, he's just like his dad. Short, really? Point guard. Wow. Little. He's like the smallest one on the team.
He got them handles, though. Handles.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very good.
Or probably pretty good shot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look fine.
Okay.
You look fine. What's going on, Method Heads? What's going on?
What's up, Method Heads?
We've been off for about a week and a little over a week. We got 2 episodes left, man, this week, and then next week is the final episode in season 3. So if you're in here, make sure you get your drink, get your food, whatever you do. Do us a favor. Make sure you hit the share button, hit the like button throughout the podcast, throughout the show. Let's get some people in here. Share this to the groups. Whatever group you're in, share it.
They absolutely do. People be hating on California and their laws, but they be doing it right a lot of ways. I'm just responding to a comment. I don't know who that is.
They have the best employment laws and the most paid vacation days of any state.
It says Facebook user.
They're trying. They're staying anonymous.
They have not given StreamYard the rights to see their name.
Oh, is that what that
comments means? Yeah,
they get in there. StreamYard keep adding stuff. Every time I go on there, there's like something new.
It's gonna be a good episode, man. I'm feeling good about this episode.
Yeah,
I am. Plus, people love talking about love and relationships and all that good shit. So, all right, man. Oh, you gotta log in.
No, I'm ready.
What's going on, Selena? Let's go ahead and let's kick this show off, man.
All right.
Take a seat and put your feet up. We gon' meet up. Sit with me and sip some tea with Remy Mulatto. Give me bottles of Hennessy and Moscato. They had enough already, but there's plenty to follow. I stay poetic with Jay Noetic, remaining effective. Conversation getting heavy, staying respected. Playing the record, maintaining collective. Saying what you thinking, ain't no place for rejection. I claim it, I meant it. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. So tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Welcome to a Method Podcast. I'm Jay Noetic.
I'm Remy Mulatto.
I'm Cass.
Y'all know that I like to bring the content.
Bring the chaos.
I bring the balance.
And with that, we believe the best way to have truthful conversations
is to have mostly everybody
talking honestly
over drinks. That's what we call a motherfucking method. We got it right.
I almost forgot my line.
Yeah. Like we ain't even miss a beat. You've been here the whole time. You was here in spirit.
I was here in spirit. I missed you guys.
Happy New Year.
Okay.
Happy New Year. This is the first time seeing these two.
We should get some applause for the New Year. Can we get some applause?
We need some applause.
Yeah.
I gotta find
and some air horns. Like, yeah, it's a celebration. We need fireworks.
I don't have a firework. We are in 2023.
It's 2023. It's the year of Jordan, y'all. It's Jordan's year.
It's somebody's year. It's going to be our year.
It's going to be our year.
I think I'm the only one drinking this week, but that's okay. That's how we going to do.
Terrible way to start off the new year, Jay.
Fuck them goals and them resolutions.
Fuck them goals.
That's all right. You had what's your goal for 2023, man?
I just want to just do more.
What does that mean?
I mean, like, okay, so I got a new job
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a whole new learning experience. So like, it makes me feel like I'm still growing as a person. You know what I mean? Like the idea of having to learn something new, I think, kind of refreshes us. Kind of brings us back to like, you know, just that feeling of like, okay, there's something new now.
Yeah.
You know, there's good and bad to it. And then once you kind of, especially with a job or any kind of skill, once you kind of get through it, you get to look back and be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like I got that now, you know.
Yeah, it could be a little scary. Learning something new,
yeah.
a new position. You're like, man, I done switch careers or industries.
Yeah.
Man, if I fuck up, I'm gonna get fired.
It's gonna be different. This isn't. I've done this a few times. Like about 6 years ago, I started at the job I had before this one, and that's
a good period of time. That's like a good amount of time to make a change.
For me, it was too damn late. I think about 3 years in, I was like, it's time to do something new. Yeah, but it's hard to bounce between jobs and like in my industry or whatever is kind of difficult depending on like how strong your knowledge is of like, you know,
the platform.
Like interviewing fucking sucks.
I hate interviewing.
Like interviewing really sucks. And
so I'm sure because the software is always changing and the program's always changing.
I mean, at the very least, you just got to be fresh on everything. Like you got to stay fresh. Got to stay fresh in these streets.
One point I ask you a little bit more about that towards the end of the show. What's the one thing you're looking for in a New Year, Cass? One new thing you're looking forward to 2023.
I'm looking forward to doing more brand collaboration online. It's something that I've just kind of dabbled in a little bit, kind of happened by chance, and I haven't really spent too much time nurturing that area. But I have a goal this year to put a lot more focus into it and see where it takes me.
What is brand collaboration?
It's like affiliate marketing. So it could be, there could be some monetization from it or just a bunch of free stuff, basically. So right now I get both. So I get more free stuff than I get paid, so to speak. So it's just, you know, it's another avenue of passive income. And
I've started to get emails now from people because of TikTok.
Okay, yeah.
And they're like, hey.
Because you have a lot of followers on TikTok.
I'm very inconsistent now, but I get these emails like, hey, we saw your profile. We want you to, would you mind trying out a product? I'm like, is this legit or not?
Some can be bogus. Anytime I get like a random DM or email, because I do have my email link in my profiles, I always will research. I'll immediately go to like their website first and then kind of see. I'll go to their accounts. And then if it's something that I feel aligns with what the kind of messaging or content that I'm pumping out on my platforms, then I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. You know, a lot of times it's just like they'll send you like a PR package and you just get free stuff. And
I like free shit.
I love free stuff.
So for me this year, man, I just want to be outdoors more. I want to be outdoors more. I want to spend more time with my homies and just continue to grow, man. But we'll talk about it a little later in the podcast. Let's get into what we call a method movie. All right, so method movie.
I didn't mean to do that.
All right, so
Remy's trying to get more time to think about some movies.
Right. So I'm about to play a movie clip for these two and for you. Y'all need to guess the name of the movie before one another and before them. You don't get to see the video. Only I get to see this, unless you're watching it in post edits when you see it on Spotify.
And feel free to yell out whatever.
So I think I got a good one this week. Gonna be a little tough. What movie is this?
Games. Just sports. Oh. All right, you should write that down.
Right.
Did he come up with that or did I?
What women want?
Yeah.
Wow.
She got it. I'm gonna let it play just a little bit longer.
Well, can I be honest with you?
Please do.
Before I came here, I heard you were a tough, chauvinistic prick.
I didn't know you were going to be that honest.
Sorry.
No, that's all
right.
I'm
sorry.
Really? No, that's okay. You must have looked so forward to meeting me.
I was dreading it. I had this whole other person built up in my mind.
Well, since we're sharing, I Heard a few things.
So how did you know that was What Women Want?
I've
Was one of your
seen this
favorite ones?
movie
Man-eating
like
bitch
10
Darth
plus
Vader,
times.
yes.
Wow.
I love that movie.
Congratulations. That is What Women Want. Starring Mel Gibson
And Helen Hunt.
and Helen Hunt. That was your chick flick. That was your chick flick, huh? Your rom com.
But it's a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a good
It's a good movie. So it came. Have you seen it? So it came out in 2000. The box office sales was $182 million.
Okay.
What do you think the number one movie was? And I'll give you a hint. It was a Christmas movie.
What was the year? I'm sorry.
2000. Year was 2000. And 2000, give you a couple things.
Best Man Holiday?
No,
that's
good guys.
Too far back.
Good guys.
That was 2013.
So maybe this will jog some of your memories. Things that happened in 2000. That was the year of the hanging Chad. That was the Florida recount of Bush versus Gore. Tiger Woods becomes the youngest
Christmas
player to
movie?
win the Grand Slam in golf. And Bill Gates stepped down as the CEO of Microsoft.
Was it Home Alone or something?
No. So it was How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Starring Jim Carrey.
Starring Jim Carrey. Yeah.
I don't get
Gosh,
that
that was
movie.
2000.
That was 2000. They did $253 million. Where were you in 2000? Where were y'all in the year 2000?
I was in high school. I was a senior. And
You were still in high school?
I was in high
I forgot I'm older than you.
I was a
Damn.
senior. I was a senior at Alhambra High School in California.
I was a freshman in Troy, Michigan, somewhere.
I had just came home from college. I was a freshman in college at Ferrum, Virginia,
Okay.
and I was homesick. Country boy in college, came on back home for a little bit. But yeah, it was 2000, man.
2000.
I was 19.
Golly.
Long time ago.
You're right, Ebony. We are old.
We
That
are.
shit makes me feel old.
Yeah, it is old.
Yeah.
So would y'all? So this movie,
I like to think I'm seasoned.
season,
Yes.
season.
God damn it.
So do you know the premise of What Women Want?
Mm-hmm.
That he,
Yeah, and I know there was like a
They did a
they
black
did a
version
flip too. Yeah,
of what it was.
Right.
What
a black
men-
female version.
Black
Yeah.
female version.
I might have. I don't think I've seen that one either though.
And it was what men want.
I like the concept, but I just never got around to seeing it.
yeah. So would y'all want to know what people are thinking? Would be able to read their minds?
Only if
Opposite
I
sex
could
or what?
only if I could control it.
If you could turn it off
in the
sometimes.
movie, in the movie,
Yeah.
Mel Gibson couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, he
He
couldn't.
just was constantly
Yeah, I
hearing
don't wanna
women's
know.
thoughts, and that would drive me
Mhm, That's
crazy.
fucking insanity.
I would
Yeah.
not
Thank
want
you.
that. I would not want that.
Paprika seasoning.
But what happened to?
What is wrong with Ebony? I can't.
What the fuck does that mean?
What
Wait a
happened?
minute. Ebony's supposed to be watching her show right now.
She watching us, so no reminder.
What's up?
So what happened to Helen Hunt? She just disappeared off the face of the earth.
She's
I don't
a
know who the
good
fuck that is.
actress.
Who the fuck is that?
Did you ever
Google
see what was that tornado movie?
Was that her? I
Twister.
thought it was Jodie Foster.
Twister.
She was in Twister.
She
I
was
remember the
Twister.
tornado.
Who was Jodie Foster? I used to get them mixed
I remember
up.
Jodie Foster. I know who that is. She was in.
Nell.
She was in all of
She
the
was
fucking
in that space movie.
She was in the Hannibal movies,
And
wasn't
the
she?
Hannibal.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what I know her
yeah, okay, yeah. I
from.
used
She
to
was
get
in this.
them-
She was in this dope ass vigilante movie called I don't know what it's fucking called.
I used to get those two
It was
women,
her.
white women
Oh,
mixed up.
she was also she got an Oscar for that one movie where she got raped.
Jodie
Yeah.
Foster
That
did.
might
Or
be-
Helen
Yeah,
Hunt did?
in that bar.
It might have been called Vigilante.
Mm,
That was
I don't
such
know.
a good movie. Oh, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
That's right.
yeah, that
Helen
was
Hunt.
good.
Wait, Helen Hunt. Which
She was
bitch.
in the first Jurassic Park.
she was the
There's
only
been There's
woman.
been a lot of Jurassic
know who
Park,
this
so I
person
don't
There's been a
know.
lot of.
I don't know
I
who
thought it
this
was the
person
first
is.
Well, that's all
Maybe
good.
not.
I'll
Maybe that
find
wasn't
out.
Helen Hunt.
I'm gonna give Cassandra a hand clap. she got that pretty quickly. I went all the way back to 2000, think I was gonna stomp her. She knew that shit, so she heard the voice.
Nice
She
job.
was on it.
Nice
Good job.
job.
Good job,
Thank
Casamigos.
you.
I wouldn't have got that one for like 10 minutes.
would've
like,
got that.
I know that's Mel Gibson. That's Mel Gibson. I'd have just named Mel Gibson.
That's crazy.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's go ahead and move into
Okay.
what we call it. You know what we call it?
A Method
What are we
Weekly.
calling it?
A Method Weekly. So Method Weekly is where we just talk about something that's in the news. And the only thing I could figure out that's worth talking about is kind of trending in the news right now on social media.
Mm,
And it is Gabrielle Union.
mm.
Ah.
She recently said, she went on the podcast. She went on the podcast called, I think it's called the Armchair Podcast.
She's welcome on this podcast.
Anytime.
What's the podcast called? Armchair
Podcast, I think it's called.
I don't like that.
She said, and you'll see it all over social media. This is a quote. Whoa, what was that? I think that was me. I definitely was not getting Wife of the Year awards, Union said. In my first marriage, neither one of us felt like the marriage should get in the way of our dating. She added that part of her infidelity was because Chris Howard was also allegedly cheating. The other part was her ideology on power dynamics in relationships. She said, I just felt entitled to it as well. Talking about cheating. I was paying all the bills like my dad before me. Whoever has the most gets to do whatever the hell they want. So she's getting a lot of flack on her comment about that. So what are your thoughts? Because I kind of feel like that.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I got kind of confused with the statement. Neither of us wanted our marriage to get in the way of dating. So did they? Were they knowingly cheating on one another? Like
they had an open relationship.
Okay, so they had an open relationship.
They had
so
an
they were
open
both
relationship.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you wouldn't call it cheating if it's open.
Yeah, I'm silent.
Yeah. So they had a slightly open relationship, but I guess there's still rules around that. And so if you are sleeping with someone that's not part of your rules, it can be considered cheating. Okay,
so she was going beyond their agreement.
Yeah.
And
apparently he was too, but she felt like, well, since she is the one making all the money and paying all the bills, she can do whatever the fuck she want to do anyway. Is she wrong in that mentality? Because I feel like that's a mentality that is
Who was she with?
The guy named Chris Howard. Oh. Isn't that what most men feel like though? Or if I'm paying everything, I can do whatever I want.
I think that's the mentality of a lot of.
Stay on point.
I mean, I think
that's the mentality of a lot of like when. So anytime I hear about like infidelity in a relationship where, and typically the man has the most of the money, I do think like it's a power thing in his mind. I think of it as, okay, in your mind, you're providing everything, you're paying everything, so you get this kind of pass to do what you want because maybe you feel like, oh, I'm taken care of, like she's taken care of. I'm doing all the things that I need to do so I can have my little fun.
Yep.
And you can't say nothing.
Big dick energy.
That is big dick energy. It's a little narcissistic.
I think it's a flawed way of thinking, though. I think it's very dysfunctional. But I'm not mad at her for following that societal construct that was taught to her, though.
I mean, yeah. And I feel like men do that all the time.
That's what we're saying. Yeah. That's what we're saying. Men do it all the time.
Money should not equate to more power in the relationships, Lena. You're right, but I think it does. I think it happens.
Of course. Sure. If you allow it to, it definitely does.
Yes.
I think it does, no matter what.
Money, I mean, it does make it does change the dynamics.
Certain power, yes, but it doesn't give you the right to cheat, though.
No, not to cheat. Not to cheat.
And that's what she was saying. She said she felt like
that's so wild.
Now, obviously, she's grown, and I think we should applaud her for seeing how she's grown.
Gabrielle Union?
Gabrielle Union. I love Gabby.
Wait, now here's why I'm confused. I thought, what happened with her and Dwayne Wade?
This is
her first marriage. This is her first marriage.
What's she talking about that shit for?
I'm sure she was talking about like.
I had no idea she was married before.
I didn't know she was married.
She ain't got to talk about none of that. I don't want to hear about that.
But yeah, she getting a lot of flack.
Yeah,
based on what she said.
It was a long time ago.
I don't think that's not even a long time ago. It's just the fact that she felt like, women can't do what men do. So if a woman says she's gonna cheat because she made all the money, it's a problem. But if a man said that, most people ain't gonna blink an eye about it.
Right. But in her case, she went and I think found someone who she felt like she couldn't rule like that kind of thing over. You know what I mean? Like he's a ball player.
She grew.
I don't think
she grew. She had her own money too, though.
No, I'm saying, what about? I know she has her own money. He has his own money, but in the previous relationship, it wasn't even.
Yeah,
she was running that shit. So in this case, I think it's more even. So it's like, she has she grown? No, she found somebody on the same level.
But she's not cheating, though.
She's not cheating because she's not paying all the bills.
Maybe
she
not. Maybe not.
I don't think so. I think
I personally think her and Dwayne got openness happening.
They got a little Will and Jada going on.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it.
I don't think so. I don't. I think there's room for that in a unequal relationship or uneven relationship, like imbalanced in a significant way, especially money. very imbalanced. So like in a situation where they're more balanced, I don't see.
Isn't that sad though?
They'd have to have maybe an imbalance somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's an imbalance somewhere else for sure.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad though that the two most powerful, I guess it's three, right? There's three couples in African American culture that seem to be the most powerful, and only one of them gets to love and support. Jay-Z and Beyonce is one.
Mhm.
Will and Jada is two.
Mhm.
Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade, right? That's all the celebrity power couples. They're all in loving relationships, but because Gabrielle and Dwayne and Will and Jada have a different type of construct, I feel like they get the more shit.
Yeah.
The most talked about.
But each of those relationships have issues.
Mhm.
I mean, like, we cannot forget the elevator situation
You're
with
right.
Beyonce.
Obama
And lemonade.
Michelle, you're right.
Don't forget the lemonade.
Obama Michelle.
We cannot forget that. And then Will and Jada, we already know.
Right.
Everybody said
That
Obama
was
and
just-
Michelle. That's true too.
And
Yeah,
I think
Obama and Michelle for sure.
Obama and Michelle.
But who else? There are some like black actors that have been married, and
But they are, and there's way more than that.
They
But
don't
the
really
ones
talk about
that are in the news,
yeah.
often those are the main ones. Y'all have anything you wanted to bring up for Method Weekly?
Mm.
Anything in the news?
You think Rihanna and Chris Brown could have been a power couple?
If he hadn't beat her.
If he ain't done what he
I
did.
Yeah.
love me
Peter.
some Rihanna.
Yeah.
I love her.
Who don't
And
love
she-
Riri?
Yeah.
I love her.
They would have been better together, I think, than without each other.
I mean, she got a whole
he
ass
would.
baby
Yeah,
now.
she got a baby with what's his name?
Mm.
I
Oh,
don't even
ASAP
know.
Rocky. ASAP Rocky.
What's his name?
You know she don't know the hip hop.
Jay's just over here wishing he was a baby daddy.
Mm.
Sure enough.
Jay
dude.
always mad at some.
I'm the pappy.
Jay's like, I
I'm
don't
the
care.
pappy.
I don't care.
All right, man. Let's move into what the people you really came here to talk about.
Let's talk about the talk about. All right.
Let's get into the Method Weekly. I mean, the Method.
Really? Then what's under the bed for? What's the mud room for?
They love each other, right? So why do they always feel like they're not on the same page? The most common issue in any relationship is the communication barrier. Everyone experiences love differently, and it's easy to miss the mark when it comes to showing that you care. In his early years as a marriage counselor, Dr. Gary Chapman noticed that over and over, couples voiced similar complaints regarding their marriage. One spouse would say something like,
I feel like he doesn't love me.
and the other would protest.
I don't know what else to do. I'm doing everything I should be doing.
Recognizing this pattern and remembering the rocky start in his own marriage, Dr. Chapman poured through years of session notes. He asked himself,
when someone said, I feel like my spouse doesn't love me, what did they want?
Surprisingly, their answers fell into 5 different categories, revealing a unique approach for how to effectively love another person. The premise is simple. Different people with different personalities give and receive love in different ways. Dr. Chapman called these ways of expressing and receiving love the 5 love languages.
The 5 love languages. Are y'all ready to talk about this?
Are there only 5?
That's a good question.
I heard there were 7.
I heard there were 7 now too.
I like that.
And we're gonna talk about
like
it.
it.
We're doing the research. So when did you first discover the 5 love languages? Or should we say what they are first?
I'm still discovering. Yeah, we should say them. Let me see. Let me see if I can say them.
Okay.
Because I don't even know.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
We're going with the 5, right?
This
The
is
original
5. Yeah, we'll talk about the 7 later.
Let me see. Sex.
Oh Lord.
No, physical touch, which kind of
Correct.
counts. I mean, sex is in all of them. Okay. Spanking.
Mm-mm.
It's gonna be an all-night
Wait,
thing.
no. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Gifts.
Okay.
Okay,
that's
acts
2.
of service.
3.
Got 2 more.
Fuck. I need help.
Words of
Casamigos.
affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Okay.
1 more.
And what's the last one?
Physical touch.
No, I said that.
Or
That
physical
was
touch.
the first one.
Quality time.
The first one.
Quality time. Quality time.
How did I forget quality time? That's one of mine for sure.
Those are the 5. Words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. When did you first discover the 5 love languages, and did it make sense to you? That could go to the method heads in the comments as well.
I kind of, yes, it makes sense to me, but I have no idea when. I think I learned about it when the book came out. I think when the book came out and the book was circulating and people were like really talking about it, that's when I came. But I don't know when that was.
Well, the book came out early in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it didn't really get popular until like
2000. When we was talking about the book. Because no, I didn't hear about it in the 90s. I heard about it in the last, not the last decade, but probably before 2010, maybe around 2010.
Yeah.
Mine was, so I was actually gifted the book by my sister during a really bad heartbreak. It was my first real serious relationship, and it was just a very dramatic, tumultuous relationship.
What year was
that? I was 20. We started dating when I was 20. We broke up when I was like 20.
Wow, you read it early.
Yeah, so I read it early. So I remember like I was like going through like putting myself back together at her house. I ended up moving in with her because he and I were living together. And so I moved back in with her. I moved in with her for a little bit, and she gave me the book and was like, I think this will help you as you move forward, as you like heal and find the next love. And it did. It was really, I really enjoyed it.
I don't think I learned or discovered the 5 love languages until I moved to Florida. I think it had to be around, had to be 2011, 2012.
Oh, wow.
And I had I was always really about doing self-work. So for a while there, I was self-help books galore. So that was one of the books I came across. And it did make sense, but it also was not easy to put into work. You know what I mean? Like I struggle with certain things. So out of the 5 love languages, what's the one that is the hardest for you to do? Is it? Maybe all of them are easy for you, but like
these days, probably acts of service.
That's my primary love language.
Really? I mean, like I'll spend some money, and I believe it. Like I get that. I think acts of service is very important. I think it's very important. But I just don't be feeling like doing shit. Like I love you, but if it's like.
We would never last, Remy.
No, I don't think we would. It was never gonna work, baby. It just
it's doomed from the start.
Yeah. What
So that's your least favorite?
No, I like acts of service. I like being serviced. I just don't
but
like.
You don't like
not lately. I think maybe because I feel like I've been burned a lot for being like for going overboard. So I'm like all the other side now.
Go to my point about like trauma that they change based on your relationship.
What's your trauma love language?
So what's the hardest one that you had to overcome?
This is gonna sound crazy. Physical touch is my hardest.
Really?
To give?
Physical touch is your hardest
but
one.
As a girlfriend of mine pointed out this evening, physical touch doesn't necessarily, I feel like we automatically go to like sex and stuff. Like that's not a problem area. But I'm not. It is so crazy because I feel like I'm like becoming more and more like my mom. She was just not a huge touch. She would have her moments of tenderness, but then it was very fleeting. It would come and go, and then that was it. And that I find that's how I am. Like I'll give you it, and then I'm like, okay.
Oh, so you like to come and go, is what you're saying?
Like I like cuddling in bed. That is not for me. No,
don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me after what we just did.
For like 5 minutes.
Cuddling's overrated
anyway.
It is.
And then I need you to move to your side.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cuddles at this point. I loved cuddling when I was younger, but.
So some of them said none are difficult for me to show. I'm a pleasure.
Oh, come on.
So for me, the hardest one for me.
What is the hardest though?
The hardest.
Even if it's not difficult, what's the one that like you hesitate?
Yeah, the one that's hardest for me. The one that I've been working on is words of affirmation. That's what I've been working on.
That's surprising to me.
It's the thing, like I I often think it. Like if I was dating you and you walk out in the past, I'm like, oh damn. In my mind, I'm like, damn, she looks really beautiful. She looks really nice.
You don't verbalize
but I don't verbalize it. I'm not over. So it's the hardest thing for me. And I found that I've had to, every person I've dated lately has been someone who needs words of affirmation.
Right.
That's
and so
funny.
I'm like, so I've been working on verbalizing, because words of affirmation doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I'll explain later. But yeah, that's the hardest.
Maybe it's like a subconscious way of you like working on yourself.
Yeah.
You're maybe what kind of
I'll be
so
honest.
You can practice it.
I think part of it is also a level of vulnerability, like being afraid to say that and not know if it's going to be accepted or like returned. So it's like, well, I'm not going to say it because I don't want them to, whatever. So it's something that I work on. And I say that saying like, I need words of affirmation.
Yeah.
But I don't need it. Like, I don't need anyone to tell me, oh, baby, you look great in your clothes. Oh, I don't need that. For me, words of affirmation is like, hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the thing you did. Yeah. I appreciate this. I appreciate that.
Or words of support. Like,
yeah.
I got your back.
Yeah.
You know, I support this decision. What's your easiest? What's like, or your most favored?
Quality time for me.
Let's say the easiest. What's the easiest for you to give? Quality time?
You know, I'll take that back. My easiest is acts of service.
Yes.
Acts of service. Here's the thing. Like, I naturally want to do things for my woman. Like when I'm in, I'm like, oh, damn, her tire look a little flat. Right. Let me go get her tire flat. Oh, she needs this. Or let me pick up. I like doing that, but I don't need it. Because in the book says you often communicate in the way that the love language that you need, but I don't really need an act of service.
But that's how you give love.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Or that's your go-to.
Yeah, I come and cut your grass every Sunday.
Love.
You know what I mean? Like you ain't got to ask me for nothing. Yeah. Oh, her grass need cut. I'm gonna go cut that grass. Yeah.
What's your go-to? Oh, we have a
as
good
far
question.
As what
we'll get to your question, Shelly.
Yeah. As far as what I give, physical touch, maybe.
I could see that.
Maybe between physical touch and like quality time.
I can see that.
Yeah, I just like being around my person, and I like putting my hands on my person. I mean, in a good way. Like I'm not like
beating that ass.
Come here, girl.
What's your easiest?
None of that.
My easiest, man, I grapple between two, but I'm gonna go ahead and say gifts.
Your easiest is giving gifts?
Yeah.
Are you creating gifts though? We don't want the created gifts.
No.
We want them real gifts.
I go back and forth between gifts and acts of service.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm naturally generous.
Yeah.
So I just, and I'm not talking big extravagant gifts, but like, maybe we'll be talking one day and I'll notice that your hat looks old, or maybe you need, and I'll like store that in my memory bank.
Like this old hat
and
ass
I will go around, and I'll go out and I'll get you a new hat.
Get you a new hat.
Like things like that.
That's thoughtful though. We like that. I like shit like that.
Yeah.
I love a thoughtful gift. Like you, if you realize that I need something, I don't even realize I need it.
Yeah.
That's white material.
I fuck with you.
That's white material.
That's what I do.
That should be like that's how
I like to express my love.
Like if I find out we could be in the mall and my woman would be like, oh, I really like these shoes, but she doesn't buy them right then and there. Like I'll go back maybe whenever and I'll buy them.
Yes.
And I'll give it to her. Like, hey, I know I saw you eyeing these shoes.
Yes.
Hope you like them. You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly how I'm constantly storing things. I'm always listening to you, even if it's something fucking little.
Is that,
you know,
is that
like,
an act of service? Or is that gifts? That's gifts.
I interpret it as gifts.
Yeah, that's gifts.
But
that's
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gifts.
Fine.
So Shelly had a question.
What's Shelly's question?
He said, which love languages do you think are primarily men's and which ones are primarily women's?
That's a good one.
Well, I think it's changed.
So you said your love language is acts of service, right?
Yeah, that's
I think
how
that's a big one.
Love.
I think it also, I don't know. I mean, I feel like women of different ages are completely
that's how I receive
different.
love. Yes, acts of service.
You know what I mean?
I think if we were to ask this question in the early 2000s, I think it would have been definitely acts of service for women and gifts. but relationships have changed.
Yeah.
The dynamics have changed. So I don't know if that's necessarily what I think is the primary for women or men. I do think most men still do think physical touch though.
Is it men?
I think men
think it's physical touch, or for men
it is physical touch.
I don't know. Maybe words of affirmation.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm just thinking about men and egos.
Well, we all need an ego stroked a little bit.
I'm just thinking about egos.
Yes, baby, your dick's the biggest.
See.
Yes, baby, your biceps are the biggest.
So here's the thing about me, and I can only say this for me, but for me, it's like they're all pretty much very important. Like that's kind of like even, and I don't know if I was like that my entire life.
I got a question you gonna hate later on.
Let's do it.
No, go ahead, finish your thought.
But I don't know. I don't. I feel like physical touch couldn't be it for men. Like men like fucking, but
it's not physical touch. It's
but there's no love there. There's no love there.
Coming with to the words of affirmation side.
Nah.
But I mean, physical touch, I feel like it can be like touching the elbow.
It's not quality time though. It's definitely not.
No, it is not quality time.
That's what I say. I don't think it's gifts. I definitely think it's physical touch or words of affirmation for sure. I think women is definitely gifts and acts of service for sure.
I feel like it could be gifts though.
Words of affirmation
for dudes because we
never get
a lot of shit
because y'all don't get things.
Yeah, if we get somebody who get us the shit, like I said, if you give me something I don't even know I need it, man, I'm in love.
So the love languages are things that you never get.
I think that's what you start to gravitate towards. Like it just becomes more important if you're deprived of it.
Change the camera angle.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh Lord.
So we did the hardest. So I don't think the 5 love languages fixes relationships, but I don't think it hurts them either. Have you ever had someone giving you your love language and you still had issues? So let's say the person was doing words of affirmation, and he was like, "This just ain't working. I can't do it." Or you were dating somebody and she was giving you quality time, but it was still like, "This ain't working." Right?
Yes.
So for me, there's been times where I've gone through phases, and during those phases, I'd be getting everything that I need, but I can't give everything that she needs. And I realized that during that relationship, but it just kind of goes that way, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going through what I'm going through. I can't really be what it is that you feel like you need right now.
Damn, what was that word that lady used?
Every
in that
relationship,
podcast?
though, right? Like it ebbs and flows, and there's ups and downs, and highs and lows.
Yeah, and if we get through it, then that I think it'll be all right. Or if we find a way to adapt to it, because I'm just different right now.
Yeah, I asked that question because I think a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, I know my 5 love languages. I know what I need. I know," but then they think that's enough, and that's not enough. Like, no, you can be giving me quality time, but your communication is shit. Yeah, or you're still distant in other areas. We have other areas that we have issues with, and so I just think it's important to remember that yes, the love languages are a great barometer.
Yeah,
to set the meter, maybe, or have an understanding of your.
It's a way to talk about what you want. It's an easy way to talk about what you want.
Yeah.
But also the 5 love languages, we all want and embrace each of the love languages. But there are some that we want more. So like anytime you take the test, it breaks it down for you percentage wise.
For sure.
So even though acts of service is my primary, I still want the gifts. I still want the quality time. I still want the physical touch. I still want the words of affirmation.
I gotta take
just maybe not as much.
So did we already do what our favorite, our number one is? We haven't did it, right?
I think so. We kind of did that. Or as far as what we give or what we need to receive.
We said what's the hardest.
I don't think that we talked about what we need to receive.
Yeah, what's our number one? What's your number one love language?
You said
acts
yours.
Of service.
Yeah, you said yours.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
When you do little things to make my day easier, my load lighter, my life better, that just speaks volumes to me. And I'm talking everything from taking out my trash without me asking to taking my car to get an oil change because I need it, or filling up my tank.
What about like bringing you your favorite coffee,
or even that?
Like I would do that. Like I think it's so important. Like when you're in relationships, to see what your person really likes.
Yes.
And then just remember that shit, and then just do it.
And that's 2 love languages in one. That's acts of service and gifts.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, it is. You're
So my number one love language is absolutely quality time. Like quality time is my number one love language, and it's not even. And I think there's different levels of quality time. I think there's people who need like undivided quality time,
right?
And then there's people like myself where I just need you in my space. Like we can be doing different things, but if we're together, I'm still happy and I'm in love. Like,
I like that.
She's here, I love it. I don't need
as
all
long
your
as
attention.
I can interact with you.
Like
I
want you around.
That's a lot of
yeah. Like I don't need to be like. But
there's levels to it. So like our version of quality time may not necessarily be her version of quality time.
Which you have to be aware of. And that's something that I struggled with in my last relationship. Is like she would always complain about me being on my phone when we're together, and I'm like, "Well, I'm here," So I had to learn how to like put that to the side because she needs undivided attention, quality time.
Yeah.
Right, but.
People who need undivided attention
that's hard.
That's a hard.
Undivided?
Hard. It's hard.
I mean, that's
I'm
just
done
such
doing
an
division,
unattainable goal to me.
Yeah. Especially in today's culture. I can't do nothing. I can't be on my phone. I can't watch. Like, I don't know. It's just, so quality time, my number one. My number two, it gets asked about if they changed. Can you scroll up real quick? I thought I saw that question. Oh, Evan. Oh, no, it wasn't Evan. Somebody asked that.
Hold on.
About change, yes, I did see that
question right there. Yeah, right there.
So somebody said, "Do you think your love do you think your love language remains the same through life or changes with maturity?"
It changes.
It definitely changes.
I definitely think it changes.
And I think it ebbs and flows with like your relationship.
Yes.
I feel like depending on the kind of people you end up dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not getting if you're not getting fucked at all from all these people, by the end of it, you're gonna want some physical touch.
Yeah, I definitely.
Or vice versa. If you were getting a lot of something that made you thrive, you may look for that though. In that, you know what I mean? Like,
If you experience something in a way that you had never experienced it before, you can be like, you know what, this is the shit that I gotta have from now on.
This is what makes me happy.
Sure.
Yeah, I used to. They definitely changed, but like I said, my number one has never changed. Like I've always needed quality time. But my number two has fluctuated the last few years. So my number two used to be physical touch. I used to need physical touch. But my number two over the last few years has been words of affirmation. And I feel like personally it changed because I have been dating women that I feel like were not very emotionally vulnerable or didn't really appreciate the things that I was bringing to the table. They never expressed it. So I always felt a lack of having it. And so I found myself now, it's like, okay, does she tell me she appreciate me?
Yeah.
Right. Now I feel, so I do think part of the love languages happens based on like small traumatic experiences that cause you to be like, damn, like I don't want to feel this anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
And then once you heal it, that one kind of falls back down.
Yeah.
So I do think they change for sure based on different things. Have you ever thought about like, why your love languages are what they are? Like, you ever looked at your childhood and say, okay, I see the correlation between this love language that I say I need and what I got or didn't get as a child?
The only thing I can think of that would correlate to, because my primary love language has been that way for a very long time. The only thing I can think of is I grew up in a house of women, strong women. I've been around strong women my whole life that have always worked hard, just done for themselves. Never had anybody come in and help with the load. And so for me, with acts of service, when I get that, it's just like, wow, I can actually have this. Like I can actually like stop and take a break, or I can relax a little bit. That's something I did not see growing up. Like, my mom was always working constantly.
Yeah.
That's the only like relation I can see.
You see any correlation with your love languages that you say you need versus in childhood? So for me, I can definitely see a correlation. So quality time is my number one love language, like I mentioned. But growing up, my dad was not in my life. And I always used to want his time. I wanted the quality time. I need you here. I need you here. And then he would not show up. He would not be there. And so I found myself thinking like, I see that my need for quality time stems from the lack of what I didn't have, from the thing that I wanted the most at that time was my father there. Right. So for me, I definitely say, I'm okay with that. Like I still love the quality time, but I see the correlation there for me from childhood. They say a lot of the things that we have, our issues, our concerns, happen mostly because of how we grew up. Something in our childhood.
That makes sense.
Was embedded in our brain or our memory or whatnot. So nothing.
I don't know. I don't really know what my primary is.
You don't know what your primary is.
I think if you do all of them every day, I'll be good. Just do that. Just do every single one. Just listen. Just get you a checklist and be like, all right, did I get this one today?
So this is what I wrote. This is what I wrote down. So you're not gonna like this. I said, I've run across many online dating profiles where a woman says all the love languages are hers. Is it a concern for you in a person if a person doesn't know about love languages or says all of them are their love language? Because it is for me. Because I feel like learning these are the easiest way to begin self-work. So if they haven't done these, I don't know if that person has done any self-work and I can't be with them. So for me, I'm saying, you say you don't know your love language. Well, how you not know your love languages?
Y'all can't be together, see?
We can't be together, Remy. We can't fucking be together.
I can't be with nobody in this room. That's why my baby in the other room.
but that's just an example. Like, I just feel like I'm like, how do people not know these love? Like, oh yeah, all of them mine. And I agree that we all want them at different times.
All are. Yes.
We all want them at different times.
Yeah, they're not wrong when they say that, but
it's got to be. You don't have a number one.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about it.
Have you done the test?
I haven't done the test.
A lot of people haven't. Oh, we have some questions. Wait, we didn't get that question.
What was it?
Yeah, that was Ebony's question.
Right there.
She said, do you feel like these love languages translate well over your other interpersonal relationships? Co-workers,
oh, for sure.
Family, friends?
That's a good question.
I definitely feel like the love languages are not just for your intimate relationships. They are definitely for your friendships as well. Because I mean, how many people fall out of relationships because someone feels like you don't listen to me or you never spend any time with me? There's been times like I fucking need my friends. If I don't spend time with you, I'm gonna feel some kind of way. Yeah, for sure.
What love language are you tapping into when you listen to someone? Like if you feel like you need to be heard and this motherfucker's not listening, what are you being deprived of?
I don't know if that falls in an
act of service.
I don't know if it falls in the 5 love languages, but maybe it falls in the new 7.
7, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at me discovering love languages.
Yeah. I think that is a part of the new 7.
Yeah, like listen to me.
I think it's like
it needs to be heard. Why you think I do a podcast?
100%.
Why you think I do a podcast? That's probably my primary right there. That's why I don't know it.
So the 5 love languages were created in the early 90s. Times have changed, right? There's been some criticism about the original.
Yeah, man, we in a pandemic. Like all the love languages have flipped.
Well, it's Christian based, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Christian based. It's heterosexual leading. It's male dominant, etc. So our dynamics have changed some. So another company called Trinity developed 7 new ones to match modern relationships, and it still incorporates the first 5, but it just does a little bit differently. So do y'all know what the 7 are, the new 7?
So I found 2 articles. One just added 2 more to the original 5, but then I found another article that broke it down with 7 totally new ones, but kind of relatable to the original 5, which I really like.
Correct.
So do you want me to say the first? Okay, so the first article that I found, the 2 additional ones were communication and expression of affection and love.
I didn't even know those. So communication.
What were your 2?
No, that's good. No. I just had a new 7.
But then my new 7 were.
Hold on, what the first 2? Communication and what?
Expression of affection and love, which I didn't really know how I felt about that because I felt like expression of affection and love are kind of a fancier way of saying words of affirmation or a longer way of saying it.
Yeah.
So that's when I started digging deeper. And then I found another article that had a whole new 7: activity,
correct,
appreciation, emotional, financial, intellectual, physical, and practical. Is that the one you found? Okay.
Yeah.
So we threw away the old ones and
I
just
like
made
these
up
new
different
7.
ones.
The new 7 are supposed to be more
new
modern related.
Okay.
I like the new 7.
So I'm not saying throw
Wait,
it away the first 5.
So let's run through them one more time.
Okay, activity.
Right.
So activity, people who focus on this love language feel special and valued when their partner takes an interest in their hobbies and activities and make an effort to enjoy them as well.
I like that. I like that. That's my primary.
I like activities for sure.
I like that too.
I like, but so that kind of like incorporates quality time.
Yeah.
And acts of service, I think.
It does.
Yeah.
But quality time in the first one, in the original, is more so just spending time together.
Just the time.
Activity is like, okay, let's do things
doing
together.
things together, right?
Let's go out and go bike riding.
Yeah.
Let's go hiking. Let's go wherever.
Yeah.
Ebony said boo to activity. I like activity,
You
but
So that
also,
differentiates from what your kind of quality time was, because you're like, let's just be in the same presence, but we don't necessarily have to do anything together. Activity is like, let's do something together.
Yes.
But I also feel like I don't want you doing all my activities together. There's some shit.
I don't want to do everything.
There's some shit that's mine.
That has to be a separation.
Yeah, some shit is mine. This
Any
is
given
mine.
healthy relationship, there has to be. I have to have some not you time, because I'm gonna have enough of you at some point.
I don't love you all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be very honest.
And my girl tells me this all the time. She's like, I need you to leave sometimes so I can miss you, motherfucker.
I say that all the
And
time.
I'm like, all right, I'll see you later.
Okay, Ebony said boo to activity. Do the next one. Do the next one.
So the next one is appreciation.
Appreciation.
It says
That's my middle name.
People who focus on their appreciation love language feel loved when their partner gives them compliments, praise, and thanks. They appreciate hearing explicitly what their partner likes and admires about them.
Okay.
So that still would be hard for me. That still would be hard for me to give.
That's kind of like words of affirmation a little bit.
Or they all could be a little bit similar.
I'm just trying to see which ones correlate.
So for appreciation, I have no issue. I'm very open and honest saying I appreciate you coming over. I appreciate you cooking for me.
Gratitude is not an issue for me.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
Compliments I struggle with.
I'm not great at
gratitude. That would probably be my number 2. On these 7, appreciation would be a very big one for me.
To do the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Financial. People with the financial love language feel loved when their partner is generous with resources and sees value in spending money to bring their partner pleasure and joy. This love language may be expressed through gifts or just making space in the family budget for your partner's enjoyment. I like that one.
So that'd be like, hey, baby.
I like that one.
I really do.
Somebody said way early on that I guess they were told that gifts was a selfish love language.
Yeah.
I used to feel that way. I'm not gonna lie, because I used to be like, oh my god, what if gifts is my primary love language? How are people gonna see me? But not anymore.
Yeah. I like that they added I like that they added just making space in the family budget for your partner's enjoyment, because I interpret that as saying like, hey, I got you a spa treatment out in the budget. Oh, hey, I got you these, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be able to pay all your fucking bills. Yeah, but
you know
I can do other things.
You know what people like in relationships? They like it when you take them on trips. Like if you surprise your partner with a trip, or like you plan a trip, like you just set something up and it's like, I got this. This is what we're doing together. Like you're just gonna is as long as the trip is good. If the trip doesn't go well, then that's one thing. But just in the act of doing that, it's like, this is me including you in my life, and this is us doing things together.
Yeah.
Like it speaks to a lot of love languages.
Trips is a big one.
So this one's actually going to be kind of hard for me. Not hard for me. I thought appreciation would be my number 1 on these, but emotional. So it says emotional love language. Those who focus on the emotional love language feel loved when their partner is able to connect with them and support them through difficult and scary emotions. Being present for the highs and lows is very important to those with the emotional love language. And I feel like that one would be...
So I think your emotional is my intellectual.
Really?
So my intellectual is people with the intellectual love language like to connect through the mind. They feel loved when their partner values their intelligence, respects their opinion, and takes part in thoughtful discussions of important issues.
I like that.
I like that one too.
It's kind of similar.
See, I don't have the emotional one on mine. Maybe I didn't copy it over. Oh yes, I do.
See, she's not listening. She's not intellect. I'm playing.
I had to scroll up a little bit.
So emotional love language. Would that be something that turns y'all on?
Connect with them.
I don't.
So.
But I feel like this will be one that men really need.
I really love emotion. I love it.
Yeah.
Feeling that support is so critical.
Because sometimes, as men, we struggle sometimes with like we having a bad day, work's not going good or whatever. Like women do that too.
Yeah.
But I think women tend to have better friendships to connect with their women homegirls with. Men, unfortunately, tend to only have that woman to connect with. And it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
And men need to work through that. But I feel like, given that information, if my woman is like my emotional support as well, and she's like, hey, I see that your social battery is draining.
Yeah.
Right.
I got you. Like, I'm gonna do this for you. Like that support goes a long way. The emotional support goes a long way.
Or just creating that safe space, right?
Yeah.
Where I can just say what I need to say, how I'm feeling, and be just completely transparent without judgment or criticism.
Because some days ain't good days.
Some days are not good days.
What's the next one, Cass? Read one?
Should I read the intellectual again?
Yeah, read that one again.
I'll read the last one.
Okay, intellectual. People with the intellectual love language like to connect through the mind. They feel loved when their partner values their intelligence, respects their opinion, and takes part in thoughtful discussion of important issues.
That would be a big one for me for the opinion. Like I don't really think I really care so much if you don't respect my intellect. I already know I feel like I'm smart. I'm a smart guy. I'm an intellectual guy. But my opinion, though, do you respect my opinion?
Right. Yeah, I'm with that. And at the same time, I like engaging in conversations where I learn something. And if I can learn,
see that being one of Remy's.
Yeah, if I can learn something like talking to the person that I'm with, just like one of my favorite things Rhonda does is she'll just show up with just information. And she'll just share it with me, and I'll be like, "What the? Are you serious?" And then we'll just talk about it,
and we
just have this conversation about it. And
awesome.
It's
that's awesome. This is probably not a very important one to me.
What the
intellectual?
Really?
No.
Intellectual.
More emotional.
I mean, the respects their opinion stands out, but everything else, I'm like, eh.
Remy, the last one's gonna be practical. I'll let you read that one. So physical, so obviously physical, right? Physical is still in there. Physical is people with the physical love language feel loved when they receive physical affection, hugs, holding hands, and snuggles. They want their partners to show they're attracted to them and initiate loving touch. Now listen to me, man. That last part right there, initiating. That is key. That's fucking key because I've been with so many women where I gotta initiate every damn. Like, do you want me or not? Like, do you want this dick or not? Like, what's going on? Like, why do I always have to initiate? So that's definitely something. So physical touch, that one hasn't changed between the two.
Yeah.
But I think that's that initiating that loving touch is important.
The only time I would struggle with a partner with whose like primary love language was physical is if they constantly needed it. That would just be
define constant.
Constantly.
Like every day? Or like
they say women
multiple times a day?
They say women's sexual touch, sexual energy goes up.
Now, my libido will be here one day and then tomorrow be down here. So no, I'm not an everyday person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a multiple day person, and then there are some days I'm like, don't come near me. Yeah. I'm not. It's not there.
I get that. I think for me, if there's a good balance, like when I have access to it or when I get it or whatever, then I won't kind of be erratic like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I live with my girl, so every
schedule.
Sunday.
They got a schedule.
A
nice balanced schedule.
I don't need it. I don't need it every day. But listen, like there has to be other things that we can do. Like someone the other day asked me, they was
that can't be the only thing.
They was like, "What's your fetish? Like, what is your?" I said, "Some people have foot fetishes, whatnot." I said, "Mine is a hand job."
You like hand jobs?
I love
more than oral.
No. No. Oral is always going to be above hand job, but
a hand job you can do anywhere.
But I'm just saying, like, if you don't feel like fucking one day and you don't feel like getting a head, I mean, like you can give me amazing hand job.
I actually really enjoy hand jobs too.
I love a good hand job.
Giving or receiving?
Receiving.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I've been giving too, but I
receive. Yeah.
I think everybody likes receiving hand jobs.
Everybody likes.
A lot of people don't do. Surprisingly, a lot of women don't do hand jobs.
A lot of men don't do hand jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all automatically think that it's your mouths that can do the work.
I mean, my mouth
See, that's the thing.
And I appreciate that.
I think hand jobs are difficult.
Use the digits.
I think hand jobs are notoriously difficult.
We got short stubs.
It don't matter.
Can I say this?
Use it with your mouth.
Can I say this? I'm much better with my mouth than I am with my fingers. By far.
I think most men are.
By far. So why would I even dabble with this when I could?
Because the finger can hit the G
fingers
spot.
can do a lot.
It can curve. It can curve underneath the underneath the hip, the lip.
Ebony's correct. Don't put your hands near me if you don't got trimmed nails.
I mean,
That's true too.
I mean, everybody in this room knows that. Keep the middle two fingers short at all times. No, I'm just playing. At all times.
What's the last?
So the
one?
last love language of this list, this new 7, is practical. People with the practical love language feel loved when their partners chip in with everyday duties and responsibilities. This sounds like somebody I know. They feel cared for when their loved ones do chores and offer help.
Yes.
That's like acts of service.
So
that's, would you say that's like your main one out of all these?
Absolutely.
Well, I think they changed. They just changed it because acts of service seems like a woman thing. When you say acts of service, and practical is anyone. It can be a man, it can be a woman, it can be
I like the words that they chose. I'm curious to know if anybody that listened to all 7, what y'all think of them. And can we share
what
these?
y'all think? Yeah,
somehow, some way.
We can share them on the page.
We'll share them on the podcast page. We will share them on A Method Podcast at A Method Podcast, anywhere you want to find us.
I like them. I like the new 7.
Yeah, I like them too.
I'm trying to go through my notes really quickly. Y'all have any other thoughts on any of the love languages?
I do have some thoughts.
Are there any other love languages that we don't think about though? That yes, those are the practical ones, but what could be another love language that we like? Yeah, this is probably something that's very important as well.
Spanking.
That falls on the physical touch.
Violence. Is violence a love language?
I mean,
because some people like violence.
Some people like to be.
Some people like emotional violence.
No, that's not healthy.
No,
we want to stick with healthy.
But some people like it. So maybe we can talk about the toxicity of love languages, because I feel like there's something to be talked about for people who kind of want something in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What is that? What are those called?
Say that again.
What is it called when you want something in a bad way? You know what I mean? Like let's say you gravitate towards a violent relationship. Well, what is the defect, and how does that apply to like love languages? You know what I mean? Is that a hate language? You know what I mean?
Doesn't that fall under because someone made a post about
somebody said acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. Like admitting your shit or declaring your shit.
That's a good one.
Being willing to talk about your shit.
Acknowledgement is.
I like it.
I guess
I like acknowledgement.
So what would be acknowledgement? Like acknowledgement, is it like saying yes, this is my woman in public? Is it like showing social media? Because we live in the age of social media.
It could be someone who takes ownership of their mistakes.
Oh, that is such a big one.
Big one.
Ownership.
Saying sorry. Is that
what you said? Oh my God.
Ownership.
That is such a big one.
Hold on. Ownership. Hold on. Own your shit.
Ownership.
Yeah, man. Women don't own nothing these days but property. Come on. That's all y'all own these days. I don't get no apologies.
And weeds. And nice
but
weeds.
You are not wrong.
Man, that is a big one. Like ownership is definitely something. That's like my philosophy in life. Like own your shit, man. If you fuck up and you know you were wrong, come and admit that you
be honest with yourself, to yourself, and with your person.
And then
don't make this like like a big drawn out thing. Just
because the opposite of that is like
face the music,
gaslighting.
Especially,
you know what I mean?
Especially give me own your shit. We give me a hand job. That'd be amazing.
Whoa,
amazing.
Hey, do the hand job and own your shit at the same time.
Oh, girl.
If you can do both of these,
I ain't never leaving you.
Whoa,
never leaving you. No, that's a big one.
Wait,
man.
what love language is posting your bae on social media?
I feel like that would be an acknowledgement.
That would, yeah.
But based on the ones we have in the top 7,
it's like that's like showing off, I think, or like you know what I mean, like showing off your partner.
Appreciation.
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 I think.
Appreciation.
Yeah. Or that's just one way to show it. I mean, it depends on the person. Some people don't want to be posted on social media, so that's not necessarily appreciation to them.
Here's my thing with that. Don't tell me you can't post me on social media when you post everything else on social media. If you're super active on social media and you post all your friends and everything else, but you don't want to post
don't
me,
fuck up the flow.
That's gonna be a problem for me. So, but if you never post, yes, especially if I'm posting you, I'm not gonna do it often.
But what if like you guys are not posting each other? What if you have?
We talking about a relationship.
Like,
we talking about relationship.
You know what? I just want to keep this kind of private. Like I don't want the whole world to know.
Is it a relationship?
That I'm dating you and you dating me. Like I
want the world to know who my woman is. Now you ain't gotta post me every week or every time we go out. I don't want that, but you never post me. Like that's a problem for me.
If you, I feel the same. I feel like if you post, if you posting yourself on vacations and shit, and we seeing you up in fucking Peru, whatever the fuck you at, and I'm there, and I'm not in none of the pictures.
If you in Utah,
hold the fuck up.
If you,
so we not
you
together.
In Utah, you don't never post my ass.
People asking you. People, did you take him with you? He was there. He was somewhere in there. He was there. Like what? No, post me.
I disagree.
Come on, man.
I personally don't think social media needs to validate anything.
I agree.
But if you're validating something, you might as well validate all of it. Come on now.
I don't know. I have learned that people are just way too nosy. And you just get too many
that's true.
Unwarranted opinions and unsolicited opinions.
That's the other side of the game. There's a reason they not posting.
I have a sneaky link, girl.
I don't
take Ebony off.
I don't post pictures of me and my woman because I want the world to validate it. But I do want someone to know that I have chosen this woman to be in my life and she's important to me. So yes, I have someone. Because sometimes you need to show people that you got someone, right, to keep them out the DM.
Do you?
You kind of got to show them off every now and then. But if you never post,
I'm laughing at
no, you're fine. If you never post on social media, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you active on social media and you post everybody but me,
right,
I'm gonna feel some kind of way about it.
That's funny.
She
take the group picture and post the one where you just went to the bathroom.
I got a smiley face on my face.
I think if two people in a relationship agree that, hey, you know what? We know what we have. We don't have to post our business out there, then I think it's fine. Now, if one partner has an issue with it, then that's a whole.
So you're never gonna post.
I'm not saying.
But you post in your past relationships. You posted though,
and I regret it because you know what? The minute I stopped posting, it was like all hell broke loose on my social media. I had people coming into my DMs, talking crazy shit. I had people reaching out, wanting to know what happened. It was just too much. So I learned, like, you know what? I'd rather just keep that part of my life separate because I post a lot. I post a lot about my hobbies, about my life, my general to-dos, but I do not post about who I'm currently dating.
All right.
I don't post no. I will say this though. I have learned in my dating experience, I've done a lot of fucking dating the last few years, that I will not post a woman that I'm dating until I'm in a relationship.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just don't do it no more.
I mean, as you should. It's kind of
I feel like that's kind of a
that
rule.
shit can backfire quickly.
Yeah, it'll backfire.
That's kind of a rule.
All right.
Social media runs so much of our lives these days.
It's not going anywhere. It's only going to get more embedded.
It's part of this whole thing. Look at how much news there's been around a motherfucker buying a social media network. And that's just this, you know what I mean? This huge thing.
I love social media. I just think it's all in how you use it, how you choose to let it be a part of your life. You know?
Got anything else?
Yeah. What? So I asked the question about how do love languages change over time. We already got to that. But what causes you to speak the love language you speak? Like what kind of so the thing that makes you that you give the most now?
Okay.
What seeded that for you at this point? Like what was the experience that kind of makes that important to you now?
The love language
And
that
that's for
we
y'all in the comments
show
too. Yeah,
to
the one
others.
what you feel is your primary.
To show?
Like what are the roots, would you say?
Well, I would say that the roots for me, I definitely go on.
What was your primary again? You said quality time.
My love language is quality time. But
Receiving.
The one that you need,
Receiving?
that you want the most.
That's the one I need the most. The moment I don't get to spend time with you, I feel like you don't love me for sure.
Right.
But you said.
But what's the one that you show the most?
Right. The one that I never, if I'm really into you, I almost never say no to spending time with anyone. Like I believe that we make time for the things that are important to us in general. So I will always try to make time for the woman I'm truly interested in. But for me, the one that I show the most for the women I'm dating is truly appreciation in the new ones.
In the new one. Okay.
In the new ones, and then words of affirmation. For whatever reason, I feel like a lot of women need to hear that you think they're pretty, that they look good, that you appreciate them. So I've just been really working on expressing myself more in that way. I can be a little guarded because in my past dating relationships, I have expressed myself in those ways and it wasn't always reciprocated. Right. I think it sucks to expose yourself per se, or to be vulnerable in ways that's uncomfortable for you and not feel some type of reciprocation on some level.
Yeah.
And so that's it. So for me, it's just appreciation, letting them know I appreciate it. If you're giving me time, if you're cooking for me, if you're whatever, I want you to know that I really appreciate that, because you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so yeah.
Do you feel like, where do you get that from? Do you get that from your mom?
I mean, I can't say. The easy answer would be yes, right? Because my dad wasn't there. But I also like to take ownership of my own life. And I feel like just the human being that I want to be, I've just decided to be like, I know what I need and I want to give what I need.
Yeah.
And I think we all need all those love languages. So I want to give them until I see, oh, her energy was really different when I did this.
Right.
So let me kind of focus on this a little bit more, you know? What about
What's
you?
yours, Remy? Cheers.
Well,
that's your chair.
That's my chair. Did you switch chairs?
No, I didn't.
I feel like the thing that I gravitate towards the most these days is spending quality time with my partner. And I think that is because
you're right, Ebony. You don't know shit.
What you mean? Wait a minute. Y'all didn't take the test for the fucking
I took the test.
But not for that one. Not for those. Not for the new ones.
I don't know if they have it.
No, they do have a new one. They do have a new one for the 7.
Ebony fucked up my
It's
whole
called no, go ahead. No.
You messed him up, Ebony.
Fucked up my whole
No, come on, continue.
So
Quality
what do you
time.
feel like? Which love language do you feel like you get the most right now? You can whisper it so Beyonce don't hear.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. Out of the ones that I remember, acts of service.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So much so that I definitely take it for granted, like 100%. But I know that, you know, I mean, that's just how she loves. That's just automatic for her.
I
Like,
love
she
that
doesn't
you
think
can
about
admit that though.
I mean, I got to. If I don't admit it, she gonna whoop my ass.
But you also,
you know I'm taking her.
But you also need to appreciate it.
I know I do. I know I do.
And
And there are ways. I have ways of like
eating the pussy.
That's automatic. That's automatic. But yeah, I'm learning. obviously I'm learning all the new love languages. I'm gonna study all these tonight.
I can't wait to see your results. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very curious to
I
see
feel like I'm pretty
results.
balanced. I feel like I love very equally, and I feel like I receive love very
We'll
evenly.
see.
I think I just want everything.
We shall see.
Just do all the things. Do all 7 of them. Check off every single one throughout the day. Listen, there's at least 16 hours in a day. You know what I'm saying? You spend time at work. You got 8 hours to do 7 love languages.
If the test is anything like the original, it's very easy. Very easy questions.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, we appreciate y'all, method heads. It's a great conversation. We can continue the conversation anytime, any day. Let us know how you feel about the 5 love languages and the new 7 love languages. At this time,
somewhere
we can move into our final segment that we call, what we call it, Remy?
Method lessons.
Method lessons.
Reading is fundamental. Now let's get on with this school thing. You teach.
This is Method Lessons, where we talk about something we learned since the last time we was here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start this off.
Start it off.
Did you know? I got a couple of them actually, but did you know? Have you ever heard of eating 12 green grapes for New Year's? Have you ever heard of that?
12?
I don't know much about it, but I have heard that before.
Okay, so I heard this for the first time because I asked my El Salvadorian friend. I asked her if she was gonna eat black-eyed peas. And she was like,
that I do know about.
Yeah, that's the one we know about. So that's the equivalent. And I don't know the roots. I don't know the roots of the 12 grapes thing. I don't know like what particular people. I think it's like South America. It says place of origin, Bolivia, Spain, Colombia. And the idea is that you eat 12 grapes on New Year's Eve and it's for good luck. Just like black-eyed peas for black folks.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I ain't never ate black-eyed peas on New Year's.
I've never done it.
I've never had black-eyed peas.
I don't really. I just don't
like black-eyed peas.
Yeah, I just don't fuck with black-eyed peas. Except the band.
Get down with the grapes. I'll do that.
Yeah, I would do the grapes. So there you go. So if you don't want to do black-eyed peas, eat the grapes. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Eat the grapes, anime. Eat the grapes.
I wish I could give a better background, but I didn't actually read this website. I just read the headline. But I'll post it somewhere. Y'all can read it. So. Yeah, eat 12 grapes.
12 grapes.
12, one for each hour. 12, one for each month.
I love grapes. What's your favorite grapes though? Green?
Oh, it's supposed to be green grapes also.
It gotta be green?
Yeah.
I eat them both, but I prefer
I might be making
red.
that up, but she said green grapes.
Can they be frozen?
They can't be cotton grapes.
You ever had frozen grapes?
Do they actually freeze?
Oh, they're so good. And green grapes are delicious frozen.
That sounds like it'd be good for like ice
really
and like
good.
an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that.
Never had it.
I would do that.
Good.
Casamigos, what you learn is.
So as I was like researching my word for the year, I always do a word of the year. I came across this awesome word. It's not my word of the year, but I just really liked it. I've never heard this word, lodestar.
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 Spell that
like
for
a
me.
compound word.
Lodestar.
Okay.
And it means it's a formal word that refers to something or someone that serves as an inspiration, model, or guide.
Ooh.
I really like this word.
So you can use it like, damn, baby, you're my lodestar.
Like, baby, you're my lodestar. That's so romantic.
That is romantic. Lodestar.
That should be like a song.
That sounds like a superhero though.
Yeah, it do sound like
Lodestar to the rest.
This is a sexy word.
I am here to affirm you. What do you need?
I'm here to appreciate you. I am Lodestar.
And I'll give you dick. What? Lodestar, chill, dog.
Lodestar.
Family show.
That'd be a dope name,
That's
though.
a cool name.
I like it.
Cool name. That's a cool word.
I like it.
Lodestar.
I had never heard that.
Me either.
That's interesting.
It sounds like a porn star name, honestly.
It really
No.
Okay, don't tarnish it.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so here's my method lessons. Y'all know I always try to pull something from my favorite platform called TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok. I'm gonna play a little clip. Let me stop that first.
What is the one thing about me that you would like to change?
I don't know if I have something that I would change about you.
You preaching and you ain't even preaching.
don't have those thoughts in my prayer time. If I'm praying for you, my prayer is to not God change him, but God help me to understand the man that you created. Wow. Help me understand his past, how he grew up, what he experiences in his day to manifest the words that he says, the emotions that he has. God, help me to understand him. So I don't really have anything that I would change about you.
Here's the principle, is that many times we want to change our spouse into being us. And that's where a lot of fights is breaking out, because truthfully, most people want to make their spouse them. For example, many times when I get frustrated with you, it's like you're late and I'm on time, or I think that my kind of time is the best kind of time. But you've never not gotten on stage on time. You've never not been prepared to preach a message. Everything that you do, you still get it done. You just don't do it like I would do it. There is a temptation for me to change you to want to be me. For you to say there's nothing that you would want to change about me is really a principle that can help so many people, because so many people have so many things about their spouse they want to change. Instead of saying, God, change me to be able to handle my spouse.
Right.
They want to change somebody.
I love that.
So it's a really good clip. Now, y'all know sometimes I believe in God, sometimes I don't. Like, it just depends on how I feel.
He does.
It's a good message.
So
that is a good message.
So taking away the God aspect for me, but the thing that stood out for me was the part that he said most of the problems occur when we try to change our person into us. And I think it's a great reminder that instead of trying to change them into how we like things, if we're saying this is my person, then I need to do the work to understand them better and be at peace with it.
How can I communicate with this person better?
But isn't that so crazy to think about though? Like, it's the truth.
It is
like, we
truth.
really try to change our partners
even when
into us.
He spoke a very basic truth. It's something that it makes perfect sense, but you never really think about it.
You never really think about it. And so it's along the lines of like the words of affirmation. It's like, I mean, the 5 love language or the 7 love languages. It's like, okay, this is my love language, but I can change them to do my love language. I have to learn how to understand. You still want them to do it, but whatever they're comfortable with, we have to learn our partners, right? But my question was this: where do we draw the line between accepting who they are and who they are causing frustration? Like, so this is who they are, but they're also causing frustration in the relationship, right? We don't want to change our partner. Or we don't want them to be us, but who they are is causing frustration in the relationship. So do we just
so what you're saying.
Do we just accept them or do we walk away? Right. So
okay, I
see what I'm saying?
I know the answer. Well,
okay.
I know my answer.
Okay.
For me, the line is: are they open and receptive enough to want to learn me and how I need love? So I'm not going to work to change you, but I'm going to show you and express to you how I want to be loved. And I'm going to give you the space and opportunity to do that if that's what you choose to do.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
And if I find that you are just not making that effort for me, then that's the line. For me, that's just like, okay, then that just means you don't care about me enough.
We're not compatible.
And that's okay.
Yeah, we're not compatible in that way. Remy, any thoughts? Like, where do we draw the line between not trying to change our partners into us, but our partners, like who they are, is causing frustration in the relationship?
I think as soon as you had kids, it's time to just be like, I need to just love this motherfucker because we got kids.
Stop it right now.
But before that, you know what I'm saying? You can be like, look, you need to get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like, but until once you had kids, you got that. Like, or when you get married, I guess. I mean, when you choose that person, when you've chosen that person, you're like, all right. Or how about when you move in? When you move in, no, you can still kick a motherfucker out. But after you've lived together for long enough, then it's like, all right, you're not going anywhere. Like you're gonna be here. I'm gonna be here.
Really?
Yeah, I mean.
I feel like
what is
everything
the time
you said
limit?
Is temporary. It's not nothing's permanent there.
Marriage, I feel
marriage
like
is not permanent.
I mean, but it's designed to be permanent. It's designed to be till death do us part. You ain't never heard that shit before. Okay, so I mean, you know, unless we remix it, you know what I mean? But we're not doing that. So right now it's designed to be indefinite. And then when you have kids, I mean, that's still temporary.
Yeah.
But so at least give me 20 years. At least
I'm not giving nobody that much
to
time.
20 years.
I feel like
I mean, raise the kids, man. Raise the kids.
Remy's like a lifer. Remy's like, I'm just gonna be.
But some of us ain't gonna have kids. Don't want to have kids.
If you got kids, that's different.
So like, I feel like one of the things that I'm great at is I truly try my best to accept people for who they are, and that goes to the women I date, the women I sleep with, and my friends and my family. However,
see, that's true.
Yeah, like who you are is who you are. But if I'm dating you and who you are is causing frustrations, like I don't want to change you. I accept you, but at some point I gotta be like, this is not working anymore.
Right.
And one of the things I always try to strive is I don't want anyone to feel like they changed for me.
No.
Right.
But at the same time, I believe that people have the capacity to change for better, but I think it has to be a choice.
Yeah.
They have to want to do it, you know? And so that's where I want to always give that opportunity, especially because, you know, when you're dating somebody new, you're with somebody new, like it's a totally new person.
Whole new person.
Y'all are learning each other every day. You know, you're going to be getting on each other's nerves. There's going to be these little weird things that are happening. So for me, like I've definitely learned to not cut things off so quickly just because of one challenge or one bump in the road, because I'm still learning you. You're still learning me. Like, so I try to give some grace.
Yeah, it's
a little bit, but it's hard.
Yeah, that's something I've definitely been working on, is not cutting somebody off at the first sign of
A lot of people do that now. When you think about it, people are so quick to be like, no. I'm guilty of it. I'm absolutely guilty of it.
It is what it is. Remy.
She cut me off a long time ago.
Anything else?
Are you just drinking water?
Yeah, I'm just drinking
water. All right, man. So really quick, what are your goals? I think we talked briefly on your goals for 2023. Hard to believe that we're in 2023. What kind of things do you do to prepare for the year ahead? Like, do you believe in eating 12 grapes? Do you believe in eating black eyed peas? Do you is there anything that you say, okay, this is my new year, this is my tradition?
I try to really rest the end of the year. Just kind of rest everything and truly take a break. And I do spend time mapping out like kind of my resolutions, some of my goals. But I don't necessarily, I'm not rigid with it. You know, but I like something down on paper that I can refer back to remind myself of the ways that I'm trying to improve throughout the year.
Yeah, I typically don't do New Year's resolutions anymore, but I do set like big goals. It's like, okay. So it's like, okay. Like, for example, in 2022, I wanted to buy a house. Now, that didn't happen, but I also wanted to like improve my credit score, pay off most of my debt. And I was able to do that. Yeah. Right. So I didn't accomplish my big goal. So, but I don't do resolutions. Oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to stop drinking. Like, because I just feel like sometimes resolutions we set them so high, like these expectations, and it's hard to achieve them. And then when you don't achieve them, you feel like shit, or you feel like you didn't accomplish what you really wanted to do.
Right.
Not realizing you did a whole lot of stuff in that year.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I don't really have any kind of traditions that I do to set my mind for 2023. I just set goals. It's like, I want to do this, this, and this. And if I achieve those, amazing. Yeah. You know, but I know some people are really traditional and they like some like traditions, you know. So I was curious.
I had somebody I think it was a TikTok video I saw. He said, don't call them New Year's resolutions, call them New Year's realizations. And I really liked that. I really like
New Year's
that.
realization.
Yeah. And then my waxing lady today, she said her New Year's resolution every year, she's like, it's simple, healthy and happy. I was like, God damn, that's a good one.
Healthy and happy. I tell people all the time, I want to look good naked on the beach.
I want to be healthy and I want to be happy.
Caliente.
That's it.
Do you do any, I mean, that's a great one. Healthy and happy.
I don't usually do New Year's resolutions, but as you noticed, I'm not drinking. But I kind of started that. A lot of times, what I tend to do, especially now, is I'll have something in my mind that I want to stop, and then I just kind of like start in like December, or even sometimes it'll start in like October, because October, fucking Halloween is always crazy. Every fucking year I go too hard, and then after that I'm like, yo, I gotta get it together. So I stopped doing something at that time, and then I kind of go in and out, moving into December. It's kind of like I'm hitting the snooze, you know what I mean? Like I'm like trying to turn that shit off now, then snooze for a little while. We had a good weekend, you know what I'm saying? Then get back to it or whatever, and then by January, I either have it under control or I don't. So either it's set in by then and I'm not doing that anymore, or whatever, I'm doing something else I've already moved on.
Yeah. I actually read somewhere that we really we're actually off on our calendar. We're told we should be setting our New Year's resolutions come the first of every year, but we're still in the season of winter, which is still the season of hibernation and rest. And really springtime
is the time
when you're
that makes sense.
Which makes sense because it's the season of rebirth.
You're not about to do no hard shit in this cold. You know how cold it's been in Florida lately?
Oh my God, we've been doing it wrong.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who I guess we should have talked about in the weekly, the flights and shit like that being canceled. We had somebody I knew stuck in like Indiana like the entire season or the both holidays, and they had plans here.
That sucks. Ebony Fire said someone shared a really cool comment that we should write a thank you note to yourself for all the things you did in the previous year. I like that. Find some things to thank.
Oh yeah, it's
yourself
gratitude,
for.
Appreciation.
I
Hey,
like that.
another thing about the love languages, you got to practice them on yourself. Okay.
No, that's true.
Okay.
That is a good point.
Okay.
And I was gonna say that. I
Appreciate
forgot that.
That's
yourself.
actually very
100%.
good, Remy.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Look at
Remy
With the
trying to
clutch.
take
back full
it.
circle. You gotta come back full circle.
Hey, Ebony Fire.
He
Thank
is
you.
redeeming
Thank
himself.
Hey, so vision boards or resolutions?
Oh, I like vision boards.
Vision boards or resolutions?
Vision boards for sure.
I love vision
It's something.
Why
something
don't
to
more
see.
men do vision boards?
I don't know. Why don't y'all?
Because dudes don't.
I do
Hey,
them.
hey, Jay, you should have a vision board party then.
I am doing one.
All right,
Now,
then.
I
Because
like
that's why men
Wait,
don't do
just
vision
for men?
boards.
No, because people say, "Oh, it's gay."
Is
Do
it just
vision
for
boards.
men?
We're
No,
not
men can't
jerking
do
each
shit.
other off. We're doing vision boards.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm just saying that's what's happening.
Yes.
I
No,
love vision boards.
I'm actually gonna create an event for the group.
Yes.
And so it's gonna be a vision
I would
board.
love that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I last time I did a vision board party, I enjoyed it. I didn't actually do a vision board
I know
because
we
I was too busy joking around the whole time. But this time I'm gonna do one for real. So
what's your
Oh.
last question? What's your first trip for 2023?
Utah.
You going back to Utah?
I am. I'm going back to finish the Mighty Five.
Wow, that's
Very
your favorite
excited.
spot,
Couple
huh?
of weeks. Yep.
You going in February?
I'm going this month.
Wow.
I'm going in like 2 weeks.
It's not cold this time of the year in Utah.
It's cold, but there are colder places.
Wow.
okay.
Wow, going back.
I'm excited.
Metalhead, where's your first trip for 2023? Remy, where's your first trip for 2023?
It's a surprise to me. I don't know.
You ain't booked nothing yet.
I had ideas
You
like
know
I
Ed,
was
You know, Ed talking about going to Greece
Ooh.
for his first trip.
for his birthday.
Oh, okay. I might end up doing that then.
That
But
sounds nice. Is that a
I
milestone?
can't travel at the beginning.
I don't think so. He's been wanting to go. My first trip is Colombia.
Oh, February.
February.
Yeah. Are you excited?
Everything is booked.
Everything's ready to go.
Other than the activities we're going to do, but everything else is booked. I'm
That's
looking forward
awesome.
to it. So I didn't travel much internationally last year, and this will be my first time using my global entry.
Yay!
So I am excited.
Take lots of pictures.
So yeah,
That's gonna be awesome.
I don't know what my first trip is gonna be, but I know we thinking and talking about doing another live. We ain't picked the time.
We are talking about doing another Facebook Live.
So I'm putting it out there. That's on my vision board.
I think we say May, March, or April, something like that.
Yeah, we'll see.
So Method Heads, man, we have one more episode to go for season 3, and then we are going to take a break from that.
One more episode.
So we're not gonna cast
off
yet because she has one more episode with us, and then So
this is the first episode of the year, first episode of the Jordan year, 2023.
For sure.
I'm excited for us. I'm excited for everybody out there. I think it's gonna be a good year.
It's gonna be an amazing year.
Yes.
This is the year of
It's gonna be awesome.
Progress, good sex, good hand jobs.
All good things. From 5 languages to 7 love languages.
My sex life was not mine. Anyway. They say the liquor make you talk quicker. I'm the only one drinking tonight. But M is for
mostly.
E is for
everybody.
T is for
talking.
H is for
honestly.
O is for
over.
And D is for drinks. Mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. We'll catch you next week, same time, 7:30. Share this shit. Holla.